We traveled from Prague, Czechia to Vienna, Austria via train. Good news, no train changes. Bad news, we had a 1 foot by 1 foot area to stand in for almost 5 straight hours. So you've been standing for 4 hours, you got another 40 minutes left. How do you feel?
Tired. But this is what happens even when you have a first class train ticket. They overbook, and unless you buy reservations, you'll stand. And if that's 4 hours, you'll stand. And we're not the only ones.
All these people have been standing for 4 hours.
Everybody's standing. And good luck getting to the bathroom.
Yeah, one of them broke down.
Yeah, they just locked the door.
The other one, you have to walk over people.
Yeah. So here we are by the luggage racks.
Vienna, Austria, aka Wien, spelled W-I-E-N. Wien is simply the word for Vienna in German, the national language of Austria. You pronounce it Wien with a V. Please note that a Wiener is a male who comes from Vienna, and crucially, not a sausage. That's called a Frankfurter in Vienna, courtesy of Rick Steves.
Okay, we just came through that door. And right here, this whole little thing is our apartment. We got a little table out here. Nice. Yeah. It's got a bigger shower, toilet. Rug, cool.
The only problem is normally on the ride here I have time to sit and read my book about what's happening in the city, but we were standing in a crowded train the whole time, so I have no idea what to do next.
Yeah, ended up being 5 hours of standing. So, yeah, we're just gonna have a break here for a second, figure out what we want to eat, and then I'll get back to you when we're done. So what we're trying to do now is find someplace to eat or something. So we're back where we started, but we're both about 45 pounds lighter. So we'll see what we can find to eat.
Day 1. We just walked around the city a little to get our feet wet. The main thing we saw was the gardens outside the Belvedere Palace, also called the Upper Belvedere, to distinguish it from the building outside the Schonbrunn Palace with the Orangerie. That's called the Lower Belvedere.
Okay, so I got this one, which is a pork shoulder with vegetables, and Scott got this one, which is
That's gonna come with like a hash brown.
okay, the hash browns. I believe the alcohol and the water's all the same, so we just got 2 beers, 2 local beers. I guess that's the local beer. Here's that pretty beer. Boy, that's pretty. All right, try it. I like these glasses.
This beer tastes great, especially good after a 5-hour-long standing train ride. So, if someone had said you could go to Austria for free, but you had to stand for 5 hours on a train to get there, what would you say?
Yes. I don't go anywhere for free.
So you do it all again, is what you're saying?
I would.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you another question. If someone told you you could fly from California to Hawaii for free, but you had to stand the whole way,
Yes.
what would you?
Yes.
So my food is really good.
The potatoes are really good.
Oh, good. Maybe I'll keep them.
It tastes like French fries, but mine tastes really salty.
Yeah. And you got mustard, it looks like, which I know you like.
I don't think it's mustard.
No? Careful. Is it mustard? No. What is it?
It's like
looks
apple sauce with
It looks like chicken.
onions. It's like applesauce with onions. I kid you not.
I'll have it later. Let's try your meat. So this is supposed to be a traditional meal for Austria. And the guy said they only had the best meals here, so it's going to be good, I'm sure. It looked good. Just the look of it looked good. I got pickles with mine. It's pretty, it's not very flavorful. It's good. And it tastes healthy. Like when I'm cooking on the Kamado. I'm trying to get a lot of flavor. Alright, let's try this. I like those are good. And I don't even know why, I can't explain it.
Try potato chips.
Oh, way better than yours. I don't even know what that is, but I showed you guys.
Try this.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's cold. It's got ginger in it. I think it's ginger.
Try it again.
Wasabi?
Onion.
It's applesauce with wasabi. That's my theory.
Final thoughts?
Alright, it grew on me. It's really good. And this topping, like in the United States, this would be like from a can where they sprinkle out. But here, they made fried onions. You know, battered and fried fresh. And it's really good.
This, I think, is maybe the mustard. Same mustard that was sort of like in the chips I had today. Sort of like a wasabi mustard or something. Or real strong mustard shavings or something. So it's like applesauce and mustard or something. But it goes really well with the food. And I like it. The beer's good too.
The first thing we saw on day 2 was the statue of Jerzy Kulczycki. The reason why he's so important is because he was instrumental in defeating the Turks during the 1683 invasion of Vienna. He was considered a hero by the townspeople of Vienna. He was given a house, a large sum of money, and a large amount of coffee that they captured from the Turks. We then headed towards the Hotel Sacher. As we walked around looking at storefronts and some rather interesting looking buildings, and a fountain near the Vienna State Opera. The Hotel Sacher. In 1832, the court of Prince Metternich had requested a dessert for a special occasion, but the chef was ill at the time, so a 16-year-old apprentice, Franz Sacher, filled in. The cake he created could not have been more delicious. The original Sacher torte is still handmade using Franz Sacher's original recipe. It is known as the world's most famous cake. So getting in for a slice and a coffee can take some time. So we made it to the front of the line. It's been about 30 minutes. This coffee smells really good. That could be the best coffee I've ever had. Here we go. I didn't even know about this, but I read about it, so it's supposed to be to die for. It's very different. The cake part is kind of melts in your mouth, and then the chocolate topping It's like got some kind of raspberry sweetness in it. It's really amazing. This was also recommended. It's really good too. It's hot, so it's like a hot apple pie and grape mixed together. It's super amazing.
So I just took a sneak peek at that bill, and it was $33, not including the tip.
I think they might be feeling a little overwhelmed about the fame of the torte because the recipe can be found for free on the hotel's website. Sandy was hungry because she didn't eat the Sacher torte, so she had some seafood at a local restaurant called Nordsee. This is where Sandy's gonna eat. Nordsee. Crazy lobster things here. They're kind of expensive. A whole bunch of those. Each one of those halves is 38 euros. That's what she got. And there it is. There's Sandy's lunch. It's a little seafood salsa salad. And it costed $10 for just that.
So sad.
Next, we went to the St. Stephen's Cathedral. It is the mother church of the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Vienna and the seat of the Archbishop of Vienna. Built of limestone, the cathedral is 107 meters, 351 feet, long, and 40 meters, 130 feet, wide, and 136 meters, 446 feet tall at its highest point. Over the centuries, soot and other forms of air pollution accumulated on the church and has given it a black color. But recent restoration projects have again returned some portions of the building to the original white. This is the car wash for horse carriages. It smells kind of like a farm over here. Next we saw St. Peter's Catholic Church. It has a famous green dome, and the inside is filled with a lot of gold. Then we passed through Hofburg, Wien. This is home of the Spanish riding school where the world-famous Lipizzaner stallions and their riders train. This is also the same building as the Sissi Museum, named after Empress Elizabeth, the wife of Emperor Franz Joseph I. Then we saw this big monument. This monument stands in tribute to Archduke Karl, Duke of Teschen of the Habsburgs. He was a field marshal during the Napoleonic Wars and had a mixture of successes and failures against the French. Besides the Sissi Museum, there was the Welz Museum, Wien, an ethnographic and archaeological museum, and the Kunsthistorisches Museum, a fine arts museum nearby. This is the Austrian Parliament building, and it looks really awesome. Then we saw the Theseus Wine. It is an historic landmark which features different art exhibitions. When we were there, it featured a sci-fi exhibit from New York called the Space Mosque, Stadt Wien Park, or just Stadtpark. This is a city park in Vienna, which is quite large, 28 acres. There were a lot of bars and restaurants named after Einstein in Vienna, which we would come across from time to time. Einstein never lived in Vienna, but he did visit, and he had some friends here. The Votive Church, called also Votivkirche. Following the attempted assassination of Emperor Franz Joseph in 1853, the emperor's brother, Archduke Ferdinand Maximilian, inaugurated a campaign to create this church to thank God for saving his brother's life.
This isn't a real river, it's just a diversion from the main river. That giant thing back there in the distance is a leftover from World War II. It is called the Flak Tower, and there's a few of them around the city. They used to shoot from there, probably shooting aircraft. This thing is huge. Never again, it says. Alright, that pretty much fits everything in. Wow.
The turret tower, also known as a Flakturm. Flak towers were very large, above-ground, anti-aircraft gun blockhouse towers constructed by Nazi Germany. There were a total of 8 flak towers built, 3 in Berlin, 2 in Hamburg, and 3 here in Vienna. Each tower had a radar dish which could be retracted behind a thick concrete and steel dome for protection. They were constructed in 6 months, with walls 3.5 meters or 11 feet thick. Their designers considered the towers to be invulnerable to attack by the standard ordnance carried by RAF heavy bombers at the time of their construction. The towers were able to sustain a rate of fire of 8,000 rounds per minute from their multi-level guns. In Germany, during the Battle of Berlin, up to 30,000 Berliners took refuge in one tower, and inside, the occupants formed their own city-like community.
This is where we chose to eat totally by random. That's the one we're getting. We got the new million and 2 lemonades. Yeah, it looks like it has bubbles. I thought we ordered no gas, but I guess we ordered with gas. But it looks great. What is it? Is it good?
It's like lemon soda.
Okay.
Water. Thank you.
No magic?
No. Everybody seems to have one of these, so they must be popular.
Yeah. I forgot to mention that they gave us this table on condition that we can be done eating in 1 hour. I don't know what happens if we run late, but wouldn't it be their fault?
No, it'd be our fault.
This seems like a really popular place. They had like a whole thing of reservations, and we almost had to. I think we got the last table that was open for somebody who has a later reservation. Yeah, we got the pizza. It's a margarita pizza. I showed the thing of it. It's gonna have a bunch of tomatoes, spicy salami, I think it said, and artichokes. It's in front of you. Bon appetito.
I don't think it's cut.
It's super hot.
Oh, it is not cut.
It's not cut. You gotta cut it.
I just cut it into a big fork.
I guess. Looks like fresh ingredients. Alright, I could handle it.
Do you fold it in half?
Sure, yeah, I would. Let's just leave it like that.
Alright.
Now you try just a little bit of it and see if it's the best pizza you've ever had.
It's got olives. You like those?
I do.
It tastes fresh. Is it really, really fresh? I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
The ingredients are good, but the dough, it's normal.
Yeah. That's not really raving reviews. Since we're probably starving to death right now, we've been walking, I don't know, like 30,000 steps.
Well, let's get your opinion on it.
Okay. The crust is really not too crunchy.
Is it the pizza that changes your life?
If the crust was like really cooked, underneath, like it looks like it's cooked on top, I would love it because the flavor is super good. It's got a nice saltiness to it. Everything tastes good, but it's a little soggy. So
On the way home after dinner, we admired the Danube River, watched some street performers, and stopped to relax at a fountain outside the St. Charles Church, where we were among a group of people who all left when some guy started yelling in German and seemed to be going a little crazy.
alright, we're starting our final day with a little fuel for the day. We're at the train station, so we just went to the food court that they have. I'm getting my stuff from this place. I'm gonna get that Sevap Chichi. And Sandy's getting she's getting some sushi rolls from that place. And we got cappuccinos from there, and they're not that great, but they are cappuccinos. Happy Sunday! Here's what I got. It looks a little different than it did on the sign, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to expect. Never had anything like this before. And what was yours again? Salmon nigiri. Okay.
And we're eating at the train station, by the way. This was $3.
I think Sandy would like this. It's not really meaty tasting. I think it has potatoes and stuff mixed up, maybe some vegetables even. It tastes really good. Kind of like a potato sausage, but it's fried up. It tastes even better. I like it. Take a try.
It's salty. Ooh.
She asked me if I wanted mayonnaise or ketchup.
Huh.
I went with mayonnaise.
You like it though?
Yeah, it's good. It's different.
She steals a fry again.
Are they dough fried?
No.
Your salmon looks a little sweaty.
That's good. Maybe it's fatty.
Yeah. They just made them, as opposed to that stuff right there that's getting pre-made for later today. Alright, so we're in a pretty much landlocked country. They must have to import all their seafood, so...
Yeah, this was $10 too.
Yeah. But how does it taste? Atlantic salmon. Oh wow, thank you. Wow. I don't think I've had flavor like that in a long time.
Yeah.
That was really good.
It's good. Oh yeah.
When you're traveling via the metro system in Vienna, one thing you should know, take a look at these station names. One thing you should know is that there's no pay stations anywhere along the system. You don't have to swipe your card or scan anything. It's all on the honor system, but you should pay because I guess you get publicly humiliated if you get caught, and then there's a little fine. And that's the main palace. So we got our tickets pretty quick. They were for 2 hours and 15 minutes from now, so we're gonna go have a snack and go somewhere else for those 2 hours. We're just walking to the mall. On Sunday, almost everything is closed.
This is what a McCafe is.
Over here. And McDonald's also have these. Well, this is all we got for our little break. We could have probably just stayed at the council, but it was hot over there, so this is a little better, even though we had to.
Malls are open, by the way.
0 malls are open, and a lot of other places are closed. We had grocery stores, so we couldn't even get a juice. So we got this, live and learn. It's pretty interesting here. That's kind of cool how everybody takes a day off. The coffee came with this little egg.
Bean. It's a bean.
Is it a bean? Oh, it's a bean.
Chocolate
I
covered
can't have
bean.
that first. It'll screw up my taste testing. Let me have this. It's pretty good. Like McDonald's gets it right. They do a lot of testing. Now let's try this bean. You want some of this bean?
No.
That wasn't as good as the coffee.
Oh. So I got a green tea. And it's cold, but there's no ice. They don't ever serve ice here. And drinks that you buy in the store usually don't come cold either. So, yeah, they're used to drinking things not refrigerated here. So, FYI.
This is not a normal McDonald's sundae. It had some kind of like chocolate instead of vanilla. It's like a white chocolate ice cream, and it's got a wooden spoon. It tastes like vanilla. I don't know if you can tell the difference. Maybe they're side by side. But okay.
Schonbrunn Palace was the main summer residence of the Habsburg rulers. The 1,441-room Baroque palace is one of the most important architectural, cultural, and historic monuments in the country. The history of the palace and the vast gardens spanned over 300 years, reflecting the changing tastes, interests, and aspirations of successive Habsburg monarchs. It has been a major tourist attraction since the mid-1950s. We saw many rooms inside the palace. The garden and other outdoor features cover a vast area. Along the sides of the path of the fountain, there are 32 sculptures, and 23 additional sculptures located throughout the grounds. The garden axis points towards a 60-meter high hill, that's 200 feet. And just before the hill is the Neptune Fountain. Work on the fountain began in 1776 and was completed within 4 years. At the top of the hill is the Glorietta, meaning little room. Built in 1775, it is the largest and probably best known Glorietta in the world. The Glorietta is dedicated as a monument of just war, which is war that leads to peace. To serve as both a focal point and a lookout point for the garden, it was used as a dining hall and festival hall, as well as a breakfast room for Emperor Franz Joseph I.
What are you gonna do about it? She's telling me. Oh, this doesn't look too bad at all.
What you do?
So, this city, Vienna, Austria, is famous for its music. And by that I mean classical music from great composers. And Sandy's never really experienced that. I used to be in band. I have done that, played a lot of those songs. But Sandy's never done it. So here we go. Tonight we got seats at the Orangerie. And so we're going to go and experience live music. It should be awesome. Or horrible. Depending on if you like it or not. Like, I think most people would like it though.
Next, we went to a concert in the Orangerie. An orangery was a room or dedicated building on the grounds of fashionable residents of Northern Europe from the 17th to the 19th centuries, where orange and other fruit trees were protected during the winter. Vienna had been called the City of Music due to its musical legacy, as many famous classical musicians, such as Beethoven, Strauss, and Mozart, called Vienna their home. Vienna is also said to be the city of dreams because it was home to the world's first psychoanalyst, Sigmund Freud. Here we attended a concert with the music of Mozart and Strauss. I was a band nerd in high school, and this was Sandy's first orchestra concert. Mozart himself performed to the court and guests in this very room. After the concert, we headed home and called it a night.
So that was great and amazing and perfect. And for the rest of our lives, we'll always remember it whenever we hear Glasgow.